You're now tuned in to Conversations with Caprice. I'm your host, Ashley Caprice, and on the line with me right now, I got West Coast hip-hop pioneer Too Short, man. How you doing?
Doing good. Getting ready for the thing this week.
I know, man. Tell me about it. So you're celebrating 30 years in hip-hop right now. You got your own stage at South by Southwest, right?
Yeah, we're doing a little daytime event. It's not the main event. I am participating with that later in the week, but we're just doing a little warm-up event early in the week, live streaming it, so, it's a major event.
And how can people live stream this event?
Gotta go to tooshort.tv.
There it is. All right,
it's all there.
What can people expect from this performance, though?
Well, I'm doing something a little different. Every now and then I get out there and perform with a live band. It's made for a different vibe, so we're doing the live band. And we basically do a little medley of, 30 years of Too Short music.
You got a lot of music. 30 years in the business? How are you going to choose which songs? Right. How do you choose which songs to perform?
Two criteria. One is to do the crowd favorites, and then so many songs that obviously I couldn't memorize all of them. So the other thing would be perform the ones that I actually know by heart, which is a limited amount. I know a small little selection of Too Short songs that really get the crowd in an uproar. So.
But you have a lot of fans, and that they'll jump in and help you finish the lyrics, even if they have to,
It has happened at every show.
On what song? You got a particular song that you just can't remember, but the crowd got you?
I would have to say, as a medical marijuana user, that it varies. It varies when that moment happens.
All right. I like Blow the Whistle, Getting It, and I have so many classics by you. I love my Caprice classics is what I call them.
And all those you name actually are always in the show.
I'm
always. Sure
they better be.
Yeah.
So you got George Clinton. He's one of my favorites. He's inspired so much of the West Coast sound. So you got him performing with you?
Yeah, George has been on he's been on about 3 or 4 Too Short albums, so we got a long history together. Not to mention the fact that I seriously, like religiously grew up on his music. So
yeah, a lot of West Coast artists have.
It's a big deal to finally, after all those years, to meet him and to work with him and to get on stage with him when he's performing and have him come out on stage when I'm performing. We did a video together.
Yeah.
It's a big deal when you actually develop a friendship relationship with your musical heroes.
Yeah, and how is that vibe and energy with you two? Because I know he's a medical marijuana user too, so I can only imagine.
The extent of our friendship has really been making music, hanging out in the studio, and just picking his brain of all that wisdom. And he just loves to just pass it on and tell you stuff about anything from making music to traveling throughout the universe. He got all kind of stuff that he knows about.
Yeah, he's been around for so long, and I've been down with him since he had the different color dreads. So now he cut it all off.
He looks a little more clean cut, looking like a real OG now.
Right. He at one of his concerts a couple years ago, he came out and people didn't know who it was. He had his hoodie on, and I was like, that gotta be George. Like, I'm a huge fan. I knew he still had the beard. I was like, that's him. He's trying to, camouflage with everyone else, and it was him, and no one else knew. So that's dope that he's coming out there. And plus, like you said, he passes his knowledge on to other artists. Like he helped Kendrick Lamar with his Grammy Award-winning album. What do you think about that, man? He straight won Best Rap Album at the Grammys.
I think he stepped up and pretty much made that statement that the West Coast has been needing to say all along, is that rap is regional. It's not about any one region. It's like anybody can have a champion at any given time now. It's going on from the days of people in a certain region thinking that they're superior because they're from that region. So, the East Coast had their moments where, they invented it, and they really were very arrogant about it for many, many, many years. And then the West Coast had a nice little run at it up until, the kind of late 90s going into the new millennium, and the West Coast kind of fell off. And
yeah, man.
The South rose up with a vengeance, with just force.
Right.
And the South still makes tons of hit records, but it's so good to be from the West Coast and to see the reemergence of the young West Coast artists actually making big records, the Ty Dolla Signs and the YGs and the whole likes of them. It just makes a guy like me proud to see that our area can always assert itself and be amongst the top ranked rappers, you know?
Yeah, because a few of us were talking, like a couple months ago, I was talking to some of my radio friends, and we were talking about that, how the West Coast kind of fell off for a second, like, wait, what's up? Where we at? You know, and so we're finally coming back, and we have so much new talent. We're winning awards and everything. So it's like when one of us win, we all win, you know?
Yeah, and I really like the whole Kendrick emergence, because he was a young underground rapper for such a long time, and then he got the stamp of approval from Dr. Dre. He made his mega debut at Coachella in front of 100,000 people, and he just never looked back. So you got to respect it.
Yeah.
I was just in the studio with YG a couple of weeks ago doing something for his new album, and it's just just the fact that they call an OG like me in to get down is a good thing for me too.
How does that feel for you? Because you've been in this for 30 years, so they want to work with you.
Yeah, well, on one end, you still gotta get in there and be able to duke it out a little bit, and not be like the weak link. And then on the other hand, it's like it's just a straight respect thing. I mean, I already know I earned mine. I don't have to make another record in my life, and you can't discredit me. I did mine, but to be the OG, getting the phone call saying, "Hey man, come out on stage with me, or come to the studio and work with me." That's a big deal.
Yeah, they're looking at you the way you were probably looking at George Clinton.
The same thing. Like, I grew up on your music. It's the same exact thing.
Isn't that crazy though? So, what advice would you give to some of these young cats still trying to get into business right now?
Well, it's the same thing. I mean, it's work ethic. So it's all about work ethic. The overachievers always win. You wonder why somebody that's not as talented as you gets further than you. It's probably because they they probably put in way more work than you. But the thing is, I think that a lot of young artists or young people in their careers, they get pacified when they taste success. That means you get your first hit record, first hot album, first tour, and you kind of like say, "I made it," and that's like satisfying to you. But if you talk to the overachievers and you give them an opportunity to have a worldwide audience, or just as their careers grow, they get hungrier and hungrier. And I just think that if you had the policy of never being pacified, then you might be able to feel that work ethic to keep it going. I mean, all of our favorite rappers are studio workaholics. They tour, they write songs, they work constantly, and they always at it. So once you make it, work harder than you ever did before.
Right. Keep going. Keep working harder and keep learning. Like you said, right now you still taking the stage with George Clinton, still sitting probably behind the scenes with him, still taking in that knowledge. And
you really got to respect the little people. You got to respect everybody along your journey, because we rise up to the top and we can't stay at the top. We go up and down. We sometimes go up and then down, and that's it. So you got to realize that this guy who's so-and-so's assistant, who everybody's treating like a flunky today, might be a boss 10 years from now.
Exactly. Don't burn your bridges.
And the people remember when you treat them bad. They remember that. People remember all that little stuff. It's all that little stuff. So I think it's almost like what politicians have to do. You gotta kiss the babies and take the pictures
and shake hands and all of that.
You gotta do it.
Speaking of politicians, though, I was on your Instagram and I saw your flyer for South by Southwest. But then one of the flyers, had a little audio to it, Shake That Monkey, and you had girls twerking with Trump's face and with Hillary's face. What was that about?
We just, I don't know. It's technology. It's modern technology.
So you had to use the politicians for it?
I mean, twerking, it's working.
Twerking politics. Hey, I like it.
Just trying to put a smile on your face, that's all.
Yeah, it did, though. I'm still smiling and laughing about it. So seriously, would you vote for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton?
I'm honestly not motivated yet, but it's later this year. The race gonna start. I might get motivated. I hope I do. But at the least, if I don't get motivated to vote, because one of those Obama times I voted and once I didn't. But if I don't get motivated, what I do is I participate in like voter drives and stuff, like where you do a concert, people come in, they get to see a free show if they register to vote and all that good stuff. So I put in my work regardless.
Oh, okay, good for you. So rock the vote, all of that anyway. So you're still going to encourage others to vote, even if you don't, right?
That's what I do.
Got it. All right, so back to South by Southwest. It's going down this Wednesday, March 16th. It's going to be on TooShort.tv, live streaming performance. Are you going to be dropping some knowledge while you're out there?
Well, yeah, I'll be around, jumping on a couple of panels and stuff. And, events like that, you usually take some time and a couple of young artists come up and say, man, can I chop it up with you for a minute? So I'm into that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And speaking of the young artists, are you going to, so you're working with YG. Do you have any plans on possibly working with Kendrick, or you mentioned Ty Dolla $ign a little earlier?
Well, we're studio rap. That's what we do.
That's what you do?
What? So, I didn't get Kendrick on my new album, but I got Schoolboy on there, so I'm in the family.
Dope. I love it. I love that you're sticking to the West Coast, because sometimes people just forget where they came from, I just want to ask, what is one of your favorite songs, though, that you perform, or one of your favorite songs out of all these 30 years? What's your favorite song of yours?
To perform. Well, Blow the Whistle is a fun song because everybody gets so excited.
Hypey.
They get so excited. That's like the later in my career. I just came across this signature song, and like it's supposed to happen when you're young.
Yeah.
And here I am at 40 years old getting a signature song, and it just won't go away. So I think it's just a testament to a nice long career that just it's just icing on the cake. I have many songs that they know and love, but that one kind of took over.
Absolutely. I even use that one in radio as my background music when I go into commercials and everything. I talk over that song because I love it. It just gets me pumped up for whatever I'm about to say.
Produced by Little John. He stepped outside the box on that one and made
it worked.
Class.
And it worked. And you still working. You still doing your thing, man. Too Short, congratulations on all your success. Just being from the West Coast, Oakland, representing. I'm from L.A., so I really appreciate you doing what you do for the business, doing what you're doing for the younger artists. And this Wednesday, everyone, make sure you watch TooShort.tv, live streaming performance of you in 30 years in hip-hop, man. That's dope.
All right. Make sure if you can't make it out, make sure you let Lisa tune in and check it out.
There it is, Too Short. Thanks so much for coming through Conversations with Caprice.